Hello friends and family from Memphis, Tennessee. Today we're at the world famous Peabody Hotel. We actually booked a stay here, so we're gonna do a tour of the entire Peabody. Of course, there's lots of history with the greatest ever, Elvis Presley. He had his prom here. I have a photo that I do want to match up with him right outside of the Peabody, and he also signed his first contract ever here at the lobby of the Peabody. And of course, if you know anything about the Peabody Resort, there's lots of Peabody going on, but if you know anything about the Peabody, they also have the world famous Peabody ducks. I definitely want to check those out as well. We're going to be walking the footprints of Mr. Elvis Presley, but before we get started, if you would subscribe and click the bell notification so you aware of future uploads and live streams, we would greatly appreciate it. I do want to take a moment to show you guys how grand the outside of the Peabody is. There's the signage right over here on the side of the building, but this is where all the valet parking, the main lobby, and the Peabody entrance is right over there. We're going to check all of that out very soon, but look at this. Just the history alone here at the Peabody. This is really, really grand. I'm so excited to be staying here. But like I was saying, I do want to line up a picture that I have of Elvis Presley right over here. I want to show you guys on my phone here. You have a picture of Elvis Presley and the gang all out in front of the Peabody. I do think I did find the exact, listen to that car coming by, the exact location here of Elvis Presley standing out in front of the Peabody. So if you do look where the arrow is pointing, there's a sign right there that says one way, and then there's a little bit of a walkway. I do want to come over here in this direction. Keep your eye on the squares that they have in that sign on the building. So right over here is the actual squares that you'll notice in the picture, and you can actually see like where the holes were to hold the sign. Like you can see the little indentions there, and it looks like they were covered in, but this is the exact location where that sign was, where the bolts would have been taken out and then patched over. But Elvis was standing right over here, and I do want to show you like where the manhole cover and all that stuff is. But in our picture, you could see some of the various buildings on the other side of the street here that do line up perfectly, like this tall one in the backdrop, all the way in the back of the picture. I did want to point out, if you do look a little bit further down in the picture, you can see this sewer drain cap on the bottom left-hand side, located right there. I do believe that's the exact sewer drain cap. I'm not sure if it's the original, but that is right there. And over here by Elvis Presley's right side, you can notice the manhole cover, which is located right over here with the same type of cobblestone walkway. It says sewer. Here is the exact drain cap right behind Elvis Presley, where you can see this in the backdrop. That is so crazy cool. That's so awesome to be able to walk the footsteps of Elvis Presley here at the Peabody. Let's head on in though, show you guys around. I do want to check out the lobby area where Elvis signed his first contract, do a whole room tour, and check out the Peabody ducks. I love like the old like brass and different colors that they have for the Peabody. It definitely is a throwback. It looks like it has a marble entryway. Let's head on inside though. You can see Peabody Memphis. You have the three ducks. Yeah, this looks really grand. This is seriously like a throwback in time. They have a pianist in there. I stand corrected, they have a self-playing piano here at the Peabody, playing some music, and then you can actually eat some food. But this is the exact lobby where Elvis Presley would have signed his first contract. Now you can actually just enjoy a meal in just this quiet setting. This is very grand on the inside with the woodworkings. It is so awesome though. Literally Elvis Presley was here signing his first contract ever at the Peabody. There's some signage here. The legend of the ducks. How did the tradition of the ducks in the Peabody begin? There's some signage, and they do have them now and then. This is what it looked like. They roll out the red carpet. Back in 1933, Frank Schutt, general manager of the Peabody, and a friend, Chip Barwick, returned from a weekend hunting trip to Arkansas. The men had a little too much Tennessee sippin' whiskey, let's see here, and thought it would be funny to play some of their live duck decoys. It was then illegal for hunters to use live decoys in the beautiful Peabody fountain. 3 small English ducks were selected as guinea pigs, and the reaction was nothing short of enthusiastic here at the Peabody. And here's that same grand fountain. You got the 5 Peabody ducks just hanging out. They do bring them in and roll out the red carpet in the morning, and then they march them back up on the elevator at nighttime. I believe at 5 p.m. But yeah, they're just hanging out here. Look at this fountain that they have. Like, the sculptures are really fancy and ornate. Lots of flowers. Very peaceful in here. Okay, let's go ahead and do a quick little room tour here at the Peabody. They give you this little pamphlet. It says the Peabody, Memphis. You have 3 ducks. And check out how fancy they write your room number. We're 1155 on our stay. And then over here, well, they have a door knocker on each of the doors. This one is, of course, room number 1155. Then it has a little side plate. I do want to show you the really nice room keys. These are actually made out of wood with the 3 ducks. That is so cool. Let's go inside though and check out the room. Okay, so as soon as you come inside, this reminds me of like the Grand Floridian, if you've ever stayed there on Disney property. Like, this is so nice. Very, very fancy. You get 2, I do believe these are double-sized beds. If you notice on the pillows, they have some embroidered ducks there for the Peabody, of course. I do like the, let's see here, the headboards. They have little lights that come up. Oh yeah. This is definitely going to do the job. So if you're doing any reading, they have lights on there. Then there's a huge painting on this side of the bed of a Peabody duck, which is really nice. But I do want to point out the ginormous desk that they do have in between both of the beds. You get 2 really nice lamps. You have a huge mirror with the scallop. That looks really cool. And then they do have like a Bluetooth speaker, a JBL. And on the lamps themselves, it looks like they do have an extra plug. Oh, that's like a touchscreen one, okay. And then you get 2 USB cords. So lots of spaces here to plug in your phones and everything. You have some extra outlets there. Peabody, Memphis. You do get a fancy ink pen with the notepad as well, which is really cool. But both of the beds are basically identical with the reading lights on the sides, the Peabody ducks on the pillow. And then you do have a really nice sitting area here with the pillow, an extra chair. You have a larger lamp. Let's see what we have doing here though. Okay, so you do get some fancy drinks with cups and a nice ice container. And then right in the front to the center section, you have a very nice sized large TV and a huge stand here where you could put all of your clothes. Let's take a quick little peek inside of the bathroom though. Let's get this puppy all lit up and see what this guy looks like. There it is. There we go. Okay, so the mirror is really, really nice. It is huge, really, really big, and the lights are actually inside of the mirror. I love when they do that. You have a smaller vanity with the chrome finishes, which looks really nice, with the marble top. Very simplistic, but it's perfect. It's extremely clean inside of this bathroom. You have, of course, your toilet, and then right up ahead, this is really unique though. You do have a TV inside of the bathroom with a remote control, some tissues, and look at the little ducky soap that you get there with a bunch of different cosmetics and things like a shower bar. You get some lotion and some different kits. That's a nice little added touch though with the soap. I can't believe there's a TV in here though. Like, that is way cool. And check out the huge size of the shower. Yeah, this is crazy cool. Look at that. Again, with the chrome finishes, all of the marble. This is really nice. So our room is on the 11th floor. We do get a great view of the bridge. You can see all of the cars passing over it on the right-hand side. We get a view of the river. I do want to point out there's one of the river boats way off in the distance. Look at that. Way off in the distance. Let's get it zoomed in. The view that you get here on the 11th floor of the Peabody is something else. But you're like up higher than most of the buildings over in the area. So we do get like an aerial view of everything that's going on. I did want to give you a closer look here of the room key because I didn't think the lighting did it justice. Everything is embroidered or kind of like laser etched inside of here. It's actual wood, but it has the Peabody Memphis and all the different happenings here all over there. And then the backside is literally just the 3 Peabody ducks. I love that though. This is really cool. The attention to detail on the things they've given us so far is just really nice. I love the fancy writing that they wrote our room number. Like, look at that, 1155. Let's see what we have doing on the left-hand side as soon as you come into the room. Okay, so as soon as you come into the left, they do have a really nice-sized coat closet which has your safe. It looks like you have a Peabody umbrella. Then you have one of your pieces where you can put your luggage on. You have an ironing board, and then some more storage on the top section, which is really nice. And you can do your dry cleaning. And they do give you 2 robes here that say Peabody Memphis. Okay, so now that we did the room tour here on the 11th floor with the amazing view at the Peabody, I do want to try to find the Continental Ballroom. That's where Elvis Presley had his prom here at the Peabody. I want to say it's at the 2nd floor, but we're going to have to ask. And they also do have a little spot where they have a bunch of stuff like to do with Elvis Presley. I want to check out that whole section as well. Let's head downstairs to the 2nd floor. You can see how fancy the elevators are as well with the marble tile, like you got the duck on there. I love the woodworking though, like everything is really nice inside of this hotel. Even the doors have that same woodwork. We're gonna head on down to the 2nd floor though and try to find where all Elvis's belongings and different things are over there. Luke actually pointed this out, the Elvis wedding jacket, Lansky Brothers, let's see, limited edition wedding jacket inspired by Elvis's wedding on May 1st, 1967. This is really neat. Look at Elvis there riding his motorcycle. It says "Clothe the heir to the king," Lansky Brothers, of course. Yeah, this is really neat. You have one of the books there with Elvis Presley and the Lansky Brothers. And here's some Elvis Presley merchandise you can pick up. Elvis's favorite watch now available at the Lansky Brothers right over here. There's it on display right there, and then you can actually see it on Elvis's wrist while he's sitting in the chair. That is really neat. They have a silver one, and then over here they do have 2 different types with the gold hue. And check out the Taking Care business belt that they have for purchase here. It says Elvis with the rhinestones, your classic TCB. We're going to take the stairs up to the 2nd floor here. That's where Elvis's contract is, like a copy of it, and also the Continental Ballroom where Elvis Presley had his prom. Check this out. As soon as you come up the stairs, they have the old school phones and seats. Look at that, it has the padded seat. This has like the glass that would close on you so you can have an intimate conversation, and the telephones. And there's even some napkins right underneath. Like, how fancy is that? So again, this is the 2nd floor at the Peabody. Right now we're looking for that contract from Elvis Presley. You can take the elevators or walk up here. But I think it's right over here on the right-hand side. They do have another piano on display. And I think we've officially found the spot, the Peabody Memorabilia Room on the 2nd floor. Yeah, they got lots of cool little things here on the outside. We definitely want to see what's on the inside. Let's see what we have doing though. The Peabody recognition of their community effort of beautiful, to a beautiful community. That is really neat. And then they have the Peabody Memphis Hotel co-owners. Oh, this is cool. That is neat. Let's see what we have doing in here though. Oh, look at this. This is actually signed by Babe Ruth. Let's see here. Something for Sunday evening free. The Peabody. See and hear the big timer. Oh, wow. Look at that. In honor of William Day Haney. You can see it signed right on the top there on the napkin by Babe Ruth. And then right underneath the Babe Ruth autograph, here's Elvis Presley RCA signing bonus. Elvis Presley received $4,500 signing bonus of his first national RCA recording contract at the Peabody on November 21st, 1955. Elvis's manager, Colonial Tom Parker, was a guest at the Peabody at the time, and he had the receipt typed on Peabody Hotel letterhead, Elvis also visited the Peabody for his L.C. Hum's High School Junior Senior Prom, which we're going to check out in just a bit, which was held at the Colonial Ballroom in 1953. He wore a pink and black ensemble designed by Bernard Lansky downstairs. Look at this though. You can actually see Elvis Presley in the front there. It says RCA recording contract signing at the Peabody, November 1st, 1955. Look at that. You can see Vernon Presley's signature, Elvis Presley's signature, and then the contract donated by Norm. That's really cool. You can see the letterhead there. It says Peabody Hotel, November 21st, 1955. I do want to read the contract. It says, received of Colonial Tom Parker the amount of $4,500 for the following. RCA Victor bonus, and then you have Hill and Range, and then total to Elvis Presley $4,500.
Throughout the year, the Peabody became the place where memories were made, the conventions, parties, and romantic.
And here's some of the images from the Intercontinental Ball, or the Continental Ballroom, and then the outside of the original Peabody. We're going to have to head on over to the Continental Ballroom and check that out. It says here on this picture, famous faces. The Peabody has been a home away from home from countless celebrities, societies, and prominent businessmen. I do want to point out a few of them. Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio, Johnny Cash, Carl Perkins, Tom Cruise, Gene Hackman, Oprah Winfrey. Lots of famous faces here at the Peabody. It's kind of crazy to think Elvis would have walked right across this way right here over to the Continental Ballroom. The door is open, so we're going to check that out. In 1953, 18-year-old Elvis Presley attended his senior prom at the Peabody Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. For most people, teenage years can be awkward, but Elvis was no exception. Unfortunately for him, prom was especially awkward. So Elvis was an awkward teenager, aren't we all though? His date for the evening was a girl he'd been courting for over a year, 14-year-old named Regis Wilson, for the special occasion here at his prom. Yeah, let's head on over to the Continental Ballroom right across the way. We'll take the same footsteps that Elvis would have taken and go check that out. But this is where Elvis had his prom when he was 18 years old. And it's really fancy up here as well, with like these candelabras that they have on the walls, like the woodworking. And check out this huge water fountain that they have. Let's see what we can see over here though. Here's a placard, the Continental Ballroom. Welcome to the Peabody Memphis, the South's Grand Hotel. Like I was saying, they do have a door open over here, so we'll kind of see what we can see without getting in any trouble, obviously. I'm not sure if anybody's going to be in here or not. Oh my word. Look at that, guys. This would have been where Elvis Presley danced at his prom. They have the stage right over there. This is really crazy to be able to see inside. There's nobody in here at the moment, but it has these really nice chandeliers. Check out the whole like edging, like all of the different woodworking and really fancy columns here at the other end. They have all the chairs stacked up. But we're standing in the same exact spot where Elvis Presley at age 18 had his prom here at the Peabody Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. Like, I wonder how much of this is original. I feel like most of it has to be. Like the lanterns and sconces, these really nice chandeliers that they have. Just really beautiful. Not to mention, up here on the second floor, you do get a great view of the lobby area. We have an aerial view of the Peabody Ducks. And again, this is where Elvis signed the contract. Like, how crazy. They have a really nice bar area. Lansky's is located right over here in this direction. They do have a lot of really neat, like, Elvis Presley themed items. I really like that watch that we saw, and the belt with the belt buckle. I love the different telephones and different things that they have scattered throughout the second floor here at the Peabody. Like, this is just perfect for the theming. Like, I love these old school phones. Look at that though, it has the little dials, you can turn the volume up and down, and it has this little leather Peabody attachment where you can get some extra notepads. And then right across the way, let's see what we have doing, yet another really nice piano. These are really fancy and very ornate. Like, look at the pedals there with the flowers and whatnot. And of course, they do have lots of pictures and paintings of the Peabody itself. This here is the Peabody, 3rd Street and Union Ave back in 1925. So this is what the Peabody would have looked like back then. And then over here, they do have another one. Let's see what we have doing. The Peabody Entertainment, 1920s and 1930s. Just making our way over to world famous Beale Street here in Memphis, Tennessee. Look at this, there's Lansky Brothers. You have Elvis and Bernard Lansky right out front on the window, which is really cool. Like, this is a really cool piece of history, located right next to the Memphis Music Hall of Fame. You always know when you're getting close to Beale Street when you have B.B. King's House of Blues right over here on the corner. We're going to hang a left and we'll be on world famous Beale Street. Hopefully it's all lit up right now like B.B. King's is. It sounds like they do have some band down here along the way, but I do want to point out the home of the blues, Beale Street, right down there that they have. So right now it is about 4 or 5 p.m. at night, and it's not too busy at all here on Beale Street. I do want to head over to A. Schwab, established 1876. It's an old like soda pop place. I think it's supposedly the longest running business that they have here on Beale Street. And right next door they have the Jerry the King Lawler Hall of Fame bar and restaurant. I'm a huge WWE fan. You can see the King Jerry Lawler up top there. He's like hitting the beers together like Stone Cold Steve Austin used to. Then you have like his signature, Jerry the King Lawler. I feel like the proper little nightcap has to be over here at A. Schwab though. Check out the signage that they have: dry goods, music, keepsakes, and clothing. So they do still have lots of little toys, like seasonal keepsakes. They have some kids' wooden guitars, and even some Elvis t-shirts. Everything, of course, is going to be Elvis themed here in Memphis, but we have to check this out. They have some magnets as soon as you come in here. Like, this is a facsimile of Elvis Presley's Tennessee driver's license with the address there, Memphis, his signature. Like, these are really neat. They have those. And right underneath is a really cool one of world famous Beale Street. It has a nice little metallic finish. These are only $5 a piece. I feel like that's a really good deal. And they do have an Elvis Presley license plate as well, holding the guitar for $5. Of course, you have to take home your very own A. Schwab merchandise. They have these really nice coffee mugs, established 1876, Beale Street, Memphis, Tennessee. They're only $12 a piece. They have these in so many different colors though, like lots of drinkware and cups that they have. Here's a really nice stein with your A. Schwab. They have little shot glasses here. Let's see what else that we have doing. They have pencils, some ink pens as well for A. Schwab in the shape of a guitar. These are $7 a piece. Then right underneath they have a Beale Street patch with A. Schwab, Memphis, Tennessee. These are $6 a piece. Then in this section they do have like the old-fashioned sodas. They're $2.98 a piece only. They have cherry, root beer, southern grape. They have Green River, Beale Street blueberry. So that's really cool. They have a bunch of milkshakes. It's really neat though because they do have like all of the different flavors right here, like the old school flavors. And like you see at Johnny Rockets with the straws, you can pull this puppy up and get one of your straws. That seems like a really good deal though. Only $2.98. I think we're gonna have to try one of these. But just like back in the old days, this whole counter is littered with bar stools, and you can actually just enjoy your beverage. You can get your coffees or some alcoholic beverages over here. They do also have lots of t-shirts on display. This one is the Sun Record Company. You have Elvis Presley there in his pink Cadillac, the Sun Record symbol. It says where rock and roll was born. These t-shirts are $30 a piece. Over here, like you have the King of Kings, like the playing card with Elvis Presley. It says Tennessee and then Memphis. These are really, really soft though. Like, I can't wait to go to Graceland and check all of that out. But they do have some really cool t-shirts here at A. Schwab. Up here on display they have the A. Schwab, like it's a 50th anniversary sale they must have had like so many years ago outside of the building, but it literally looks identical to this day. The milkshakes are only $5.98 and you can make it a malt for 30 cents more. That is such a good deal. They have chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, Oreo, chocolate peanut butter. and the Elvis they're called, and many more. Okay, so I went with the cream soda. It comes with like little ice cubes. You can see it's carbonated a little bit. Of course you have to put one of the fancy old school straws inside. I can't help but wonder though, like if Elvis could have been here, being this building was here so long ago. All right, let's go ahead and try the cream soda here at A. Schwab. That's good. $2.98 here. Very good deal. They also have a bunch of really nice Christmas ornaments. These are $10. It's the Sun Records logo. That's All Right, Elvis Presley, and Scotty Bill. These are $10 a piece. Then over here you have the man himself, Elvis Presley. It has his facsimile signature, like he's getting ready to go up on stage and sing. That is really nice. And they do have some other ornaments here. It's like the microphone with Elvis. This one you have Elvis in black pants, a red jacket with his guitar. And then they even have some other ornaments here. It's like Elvis in his younger years and then over in his a little bit older years. They even have a bunch of assorted candies from the past. Look at this whole box of Laffy Taffy, Hillbilly Taffy, fresh as a mountain breeze. Look at that. Candy makers. This huge box is only $12. And then over here they do have some Tennessee taffy and like the old school ones. I haven't seen these in so many years. Look at that though, in like that wax paper. These are only $1.98 a piece. And all assorted other candies that they have. You can get a whole bag. It says, let's see, 5 pieces in each bag for $1 a piece. I think this is more of an appropriate place than ever. We'll end the video right here on world famous Beale Street in Memphis, Tennessee. A. Schwab, absolutely incredible. The handmade sodas are really delicious. They have ice creams and all sorts of really fun little take-home items you can purchase there. The Peabody is absolutely beautiful. It is littered with Elvis history. Anytime you could take a photo literally where Elvis stood is A-okay in my book. Very, very beautiful. If you'd like to further support the travels, please consider checking out our Patreon page. I'll let a link to that in the description box of this video. But if you like today's video, give it a big thumbs up. And as always, make today awesome.